Let's get it.
All right, y'all. We back. Community Coalition show. We in this thing, y'all.
What's good, gang, gang?
Yep.
I said we were about to record. So I was about to say something.
What you about to say?
Nah, no, it's okay.
You about to say something trifling?
Yeah.
I mean, we can start over if you want.
I mean, we could run it back.
No. Like, I don't want to hear the trifling now. What was it?
No, I was just gonna make a comment because you say you were going right to bed.
Oh, thanks, sure. That comment is true. Right to bed. Like, way I feel
for
right
those that don't know, Kenny is not feeling too high right now.
Yeah, it's not the Rona.
Yeah, right.
I had to take that test. It's negative.
It's the AC.
Yeah, that's all it was. And I like the cold. And apparently, like, that's how you know I'm getting old, because it gets too cold now. It never was too cold for me before.
That's how I feel. Facts. That and looking for eyeglass chains, because I swear I want some chains for my eyeglasses.
You be losing them.
I do.
You be looking like, what's her name? What's that? The Thelma from Scooby Doo.
Thelma?
She's the girl can't find her glasses.
No, like when I bend over, they fall off.
Oh yeah. See, we getting old, y'all. We getting old. That's okay.
I was definitely talking about Thelma today, and it was with Coach Love.
Shout out to Coach Love. All right. Yeah. So we are though. You know, we here. We doing it.
And shout out to Coach Love.
Yeah.
I was on her show today.
That's what's up.
Coach Love, look at you over there.
So
cheating on us. Like, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm trying to get this content out. I'm trying to get these shows in.
No.
Right.
You could see other people.
All right. Let's get it cracking, because I think we got a lot to pick through.
We're already recording.
You got put a spoiler alert.
Okay, spoiler alert. So this conversation is based off a documentary we all watched on Netflix. What's the exact name? It's called
Stay Sweet, Pray and Obey.
Stay Sweet, Pray and Obey, which is wild in itself.
That's a mouthful.
It is.
So I had to do a little research on the FLDS because I didn't know that the Church of Latter-day Saints was wild like that. But apparently, this chapter actually branched off from the Church of Latter-day Saints. As a matter of fact, the Church of Latter-day Saints don't even agree with the things that they believe in with this church.
Yeah.
Mormons do not practice polygamy. So
that's what they were saying, part one. Because let's go back a little bit for the audience. If you haven't watched this yet, again, spoilers, we're going to be talking about this. Right. So there's a documentary on Netflix called Stay Sweet, blah, 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 blah.
Pray and Obey.
Pray and Obey. Which is talking about this, like what we said, the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, which is different from the more traditional, Church of Jesus Christ. So, that's how it starts, y'all. And we're talking about this because this is crazy. There's some wild stuff going on. Some people may have heard this before. I've heard about some of this stuff vaguely back in the day, but I will tell you, and it starts off saying one of the major differences in this fundamentalist church is polygamy. Okay. I think that's probably the main thing that kind of branched off from the traditional church. And these people believe in polygamy. But it goes so much deeper than that.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start with this stuff. I mean, first, I think we got to talk about like religion in itself. This is
basically a cult. This
it's a
definitely a cult.
This is
absolutely.
When we get to the point where we're talking about isolation, like not even just isolation, we're talking about like straight withholding information, lying to people, manipulation, with people. It's generations of this. You got this one leader who he calls himself. What do he call himself? The
prophet.
The prophet.
And the crazy thing is, before he was a leader, like his father, I mean, you see how many wives his father had?
Yeah.
And it was his mother, and one of his mothers and his father, who put this idea in his head that he was the chosen one because he was a preemie. He almost died at birth. So they put this idea that he was the chosen one. And when his father died, you see, he married all of his mothers. One of them was actually his real mother.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Marrying your mom. These dudes had 20 plus wives.
He had 78.
78, yeah.
Jeez.
We're talking about the first one, right? The first Jeff's?
No. So the first Jeff, he had like 60 something wives. Because if you remember in the interview, the guy was like, he has over 60 something brothers and sisters.
Yeah. So not Warren, the dude before him, his dad.
Yes, his dad.
Roland, something like that. Yeah,
Roland.
Oh, he was real old. Yeah.
He was like 91.
To the point where they said at every night, the wives had to line up single file outside the room, and everybody had to kiss him and say goodnight.
Right. Enter the room, say goodnight. Go.
One of them had to have sex with him. But the thing that really got me was the parents of these young ladies, because with the father, he stopped. He started at 19 and up. The parents of these young ladies were really giving their daughters to this man to marry.
That was wild.
Because it was seen as the greatest honor.
Right.
Because this dude, who they considered the prophet, raised himself up. He was like almost like they called him pretty much like he was the God on earth, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And they had created this whole world where what this man said was supposed to come directly from God.
Right.
And I'm trying to paint this picture for people who've never heard of this before. Literally, think cult, where this one man controls everything that happens. These people had an entire town.
Yes. Did you see the hair? They couldn't wear the color red. They could only wear dresses.
That's what Warren took it.
Right.
So
man,
Cuz took it to the next level. So well, think about this though. And this is what one of the lawyers said when they started digging into him. A whole town in Utah that this church controlled, because the church actually had money. They were doing legitimate businesses and stuff all over.
Right.
They were making money, big money, to the point where
they got there too.
So what?
Yeah.
Remember how they got there? They started off in another location.
Yep. Had to move.
The world was going to end.
When the Olympics came.
Yeah.
They thought the Olympics coming to Utah. This is like, I don't know what that had to been like. Because I remember that was Salt Lake City. When Winter Games came to Utah. They had this belief that the world was going to end. So they moved the town to like Southeast Utah, wherever it was, small town. But what the thing was, they controlled the town. They literally had their own hospital system, their own police force, because it was private property.
Right.
There's only one other place I've ever heard who done that. Disney World. Disney World is the only other place I've ever seen that had that kind of power. And that's why they're fighting that in Florida now. So you don't have that kind of power. But this is how much power they had in the city. They controlled everything in there. That's crazy. That's one thing. Big money. This dude had all kinds of money.
Yep.
So they could do whatever they wanted. They controlled this. Even the dude said it was probably the most lawless place in America at one point. Not because it was crime, but because that no one knew what was happening there.
Right.
They built a wall off and literally isolated themselves from the rest of the world.
It's like the Amish community, because this is exactly what they're going through. Is the same thing that's going on in the Amish community as well.
Yeah, sure.
And then this is what I mean. That's to me, it's almost like it's in like the cult playbook.
Yeah.
Isolate everybody, cut everybody off from the rest of the world. No information comes in. They don't know what's happening. Yeah. Right. That's what some of the girls are saying. They were like, we don't even know who the president is at this time.
Right.
We don't even know how to XYZ and do certain things. We've never seen some of this stuff before, you know? Right. So these people really created this, and the whole system of polygamy was wild too.
Yeah.
So it was believed that you had to have 3 wives pretty much to reach the highest level of like.
I thought it was 4.
No, he says 3.
Oh.
Because remember the one dude, he had 2, and he was feeling he was in his hurt. He was feeling
right.
He was hurting because he only had 2. and he felt like he wasn't going to get into the highest level of heaven or whatever it was.
Right, and then he gave up his daughter, and then he was like,
gonna go to Zion. That's how he went to Zion.
He pulled off the NBA. He pulled off the NBA trade to get his third. Yeah, like this stuff was crazy, but this is the stuff like, so you had to have 3 wives, at least 3, to get to the highest form of heaven. Oh, I'm struggling over here.
Also, what heaven, like, if you get up to 3 wives, like, what type of heaven are you going to? Because
the high rollers table. I don't know, but that's what they believe. So, and in that, then that's where your status was in the community. That's where it seemed like your loyalty was. So that's who made you as a man who you were. Now, mind you, women had no place in leadership hierarchy and nothing.
Right.
They were supposed to be the wives.
It's basically the handmaidens.
Yeah.
Let's talk about if you spoke against the prophet, what happens to your wives and your kids?
Oh yeah, they got shipped off and traded and
just take it straight, and they have to burn the pictures of the husband. You can't speak of him ever again.
That's wild.
It was. This is like movie stuff. This stuff is real. This is happening, yo.
Right.
So then they start talking about, again, the leadership hierarchy. Like I said, we get to these guys. The big guy dies. The old guy, the first one, and his son Warren takes over. Warren was a wild dude. Like, first of all, this on face, he looked like the creepiest he would look like.
He was like his father.
Right.
He was exactly like his father.
Yeah.
Out of all of them 20 million kids that they had, Warren looked the most like his dad.
Yeah. He was all of it too. I'm talking about, like, my man was, he was sick.
He was very sick.
So pretty much under him, they started marrying underage girls.
Yeah.
Whereas it wasn't really a thing before him, but with him, that's when it really apparently started. And they married,
like, human trafficking, basically.
Oh, it absolutely was.
It was
pretty much.
They were grooming those young girls. They were exchanging them for things. They were giving them false hope, like, if you don't do this, you're not going to go to Zion. And so,
Right. It was really, like, as I was watching, it just got scarier.
David, you didn't even get to the meat and the potatoes. You did not get to the meat and
it gets so much worse, bro.
Oh my gosh.
It gets so much worse.
I only saw the first episode.
Burn this whole church to the ground. Everybody's going.
Right. And I think, I'm not sure if y'all have seen this, but, like, there's an episode of Touched by an Angel where there was something similar to that, where they were burning themselves in the church, and it was super scary. Like, because I was very young when I saw this, because I didn't understand why they were doing it. Because I was like, I don't think God will want this.
Right.
That's why all of these cults and stuff are crazy.
Right.
But it's like when you see how they manipulate people, and they start them at a young age. That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's the messed up part.
It's hard for us to fathom. Yo, you have been completely isolated from the rest of the world. You know nothing. By design, we're going to tell you anything, and you have to believe it.
Right.
It's like I said.
It was making me mad because I was like, I don't understand why these people just believe what he's saying. But then I'm like, but this is all they know. They don't know anything.
They don't know any better. That's why one of the girls, when she actually did get away, she started talking about how life was on the other side. And it's stuff that you don't have to think about. She was like, you understand, like, when you really have, all she had was her sewing skills, because that's what they did.
Yeah.
And she had a violin, because they played violin.
Right.
And she said, even like trying to move around, make friends. She didn't get the cultural joke. She doesn't know how to really speak to people. You know, she was even saying how like watch like television. They didn't have television. They didn't read newspapers. Like they technology.
Yeah.
So it was like she was literally an alien. Literally a couple hundred miles away. She was an alien. So it's like how like to really think about like how you grow up that way. You know,
it's crazy.
Like, it's crazy. And then
also, it's way too much. I also think that there was way too much effort to just like be put in, like to set all of this up. Like it took way too much, not only way too much effort, but like at the same time, like, so you're doing this so that you can control a town, so they'll bend to your every whim. Like
no. See, who you was only on the first episode. See, this man created a whole, basically like what y'all call Disneyland out there in Maryland. He created a Disneyland for these people in Texas called Zion. And I'm gonna have to get into this. In the middle of the night, he had people take these people's kids to where they call Zion to basically groom the young women to basically be baby makers, and force the boys to work and kids to work. Like it was disgusting. Disgusting.
Well, let's talk about how he got there. The heat was on. They was starting to get in trouble in Utah. So he literally packed up ship, found a spot in Texas.
Well, remember, he always talked about Zion, but nobody knew where it was. It was always a camp, but they wasn't really doing too much there. But then they built this big temple in Zion, as they call it. And that's where they went and took all of the kids and moved them to this place.
Yeah. But like, to go back, David, think about power and control. Two things throughout history that have kept men going.
Right.
Power. This man controlled an entire city of people. Multi-million dollars.
Right.
Big money.
And he still does to this day.
Yep. Big money. Control an entire population of people. Everything you say go. God complex.
Right.
He basically thought he was.
Definitely.
And these people believed it. I do what I want.
Right.
Like
not only I do what I want, and I tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And they were afraid of him because they felt like if they spoke against him, they weren't going to heaven.
Yeah.
Right.
So we talk about motivations. This is one throughout history. We see this all the time. We see this in other churches. Let's keep it a buck.
Sure.
Right. Let's keep it a buck. You see some sick dudes out here doing whatever they want in the name of religion. It gets nasty.
They try to validate it.
Yeah. The ones we deem as cults and then the ones we don't deem as cults. Right. Like, let's keep it a real buck. A lot of black churches out here too with that madness. And there's huge money. Huge money.
I still say, and people probably won't come for me, but I really feel like religion is a cult, and leaders that are head of these churches will use religion to control people.
Yes, it will. It's one of the I hate to say, but it's one of the earliest scams. Right. We all know, like, your relationship really comes with God, whatever you believe, right? But we see how a man will twist and bend, manipulate religion to get their selfish needs out of it.
Exactly. If you don't go to church, you're going to hell. If you don't pay tithes to the church, you're going to hell. Why?
If you don't follow the rules of this church.
Do you really need church to learn the word of God? You really don't. It's just a building. God ain't there.
So this is how it's used. And so in this sense, it's crazy. They really took it to the extreme level. And now they start talking, now they messing with little girls.
Yes.
and they was forcing little girls to marry grown, nasty men.
And they used religion to validate that.
Yep, and have sex with grown, nasty men who were technically their relatives in some cases.
Yeah, that was sick. That was nasty.
I'm telling you, when they play the tape, That's I'm saying, trigger warning. They play the tape.
And the crazy part is,
12-year-old girl.
It sounds so cut and dry. You would think law enforcement, we got that. It took them a long time to really catch up with some of this.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see, the first time was that there was a call to them about a young lady who was pregnant multiple times, but it turned out to be a hoax. But then they read all these journals. But the thing that made me mad was they just took all these kids from this place, and because there was so much pressure on them, they gave the kids back. You see how many people lose their kids just for like dumb stuff? That's all it takes. Put pressure on them. They're going to give your kids back.
Right.
Just put a little pressure. They'll give them back.
I mean, giving them back to people because the parents they can really say they didn't know any better.
Right. Well, that one lady, though, it was sad because her kids didn't even know who she was.
Yeah.
And that's because they were taken from her so young.
They were babies.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally babies. Like,
that's super sad.
These dudes, and then once dude, my man started getting busy, like started putting up cameras everywhere. He was watching everybody who opposed him.
Mm-hmm.
He kicked members out the church. Like he was going crazy.
Right.
Oh, then when he started going on so then they started getting wind of him, and he went on the run, and he went everywhere.
Well, with his wives.
With his wives, my man. No, David. Once they caught wind of what he's doing, they found a girl she left. She ran away.
Mm-hmm.
They found a girl who was willing to testify. So once they found her, the heat is on again. They put a warrant out for him. My man's on the FBI most wanted list.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
So he's on the run. But when he's on the run, best life. My man went to Disney World. He went to he said he'd been everywhere. Vegas, Mardi Gras. Mm-hmm. My man was up in the strip clubs making it rain.
Hold on.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
You're
Warren Jeffs. Yes. Yes.
You're a prophet, and you're up in the strip club
making it rain with his wife.
Yo.
Oh my gosh. One of his wives' hairstyles, she had cornrows.
They was getting busy. Wait, man. Yes.
Yeah. Like all them little stupid hairstyles they made them. First of all, it wouldn't even work for me. I ain't gonna make it in the code.
What was it, like 4 or 5 hairstyles? They had a standard.
Yeah. Like I'm not braiding my hair like that. I'm not. They kicking me out of code.
I was about to say y'all saw that there were no black people in that.
We ain't stupid. If you make us braid our hair like that, it's a wrap for us. And I'm not doing it every day. And I can't wear colors.
Because they want black people in their coat.
No.
Which shows how they still feel about us. But no, my man was up in there. They said, so he was on a run. The town, his church, his family was pretty much funding him on the run. They didn't know they was funding him.
I was about to say that held it down.
They told me they were sending him.
They were giving him all of their money.
A couple $100,000 a week.
A week?
A week.
Jeez.
And he was making it rain on them cheeks.
How you go? I'm talking about his requirements were so strict. He banned the color red.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't wear red.
Man.
But you in the strip club.
Mm.
Could you imagine banning the color red? You in Magic City somewhere going crazy. And some cargo shorts. Crazy. I bet you he had a pair of Jordans too. I bet you he had a pair of Jordans.
Man.
You see the pictures on here, his regular clothes?
He had a cell phone too.
Yeah, he did.
He was out there. I'm telling you.
Wait, hold on. If he had a cell phone, they could have tracked him.
Burner phones.
He had burner phones.
Okay.
Because his brothers and them were smuggling the money, carrying back and forth.
Okay.
So they was doing all the dirty work. He running around chilling. Church family struggling and stuff. and they still kidnapping his kids and moving them back to Zion and stuff. It's a wild story. It is a wild story.
You still have to watch it, David. Like, you should watch the rest of it.
And y'all said that it's still going on today?
Yeah, and so he's in prison, and he still controls this church in prison, because even though it's come out in the media about him having sex with young women, his followers are so dedicated that they'll lie and say this didn't happen, because they don't see that it's wrong, because they don't know anything else. It's seriously human trafficking, and I just don't feel like they're doing enough to shut it down. Like, why is the church still functioning?
Right.
It's like the women are cattle.
Didn't they say that in the first episode, that the women were like, they were moving like the women like they were cattle?
I don't even remember. It made me so mad. I like true crime documents. Documentaries. It's been a long day. I like true crime documentaries. So when I saw it, I was really hyped. Like, I was like, oh, this look good. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. Like, it was dark. It just went left, and I was just like, burn the whole church down. I would burn that whole little temple they built down to the ground. Take my kids in the middle of the night. Everybody getting it.
Right.
I know I can't choose violence all the time, but
but I think it's justified here.
Like, you see, there was that guy who said, if you touch my child, like, don't touch her before she's 18.
Yeah.
And these were the men that he kicked out of the church were like men who hold serious power.
Yeah. Like they were loyal followers.
Mm-hmm.
But then they started snitching on each other, and he kicked them out. That's what happened. They would, But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like
a lot of manipulation.
How strong of a grip you could have on people. And then, I think about stuff like this, right? This is like a very extreme case. But think about like a lesser situation when you have Trump supporters.
That's a cult.
And the ability to feed information to someone, and people take it.
Right.
Like, Trump followers, and I say this, whatever, they say what they want. They have access to other information. Absolutely. They can see truth, and they can fact check and stuff like that if they want to. These people couldn't. They literally were born with no access to anything else.
It's true, because at first they had access to outside books, but then Warren was like, nah, shut it down.
Encyclopedias, stripped them.
Got rid of all the books. They cut out things in science that talked about certain things. They out.
That was crazy to me.
Basically, Fahrenheit 451. Then.
Or North Korea.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like, this is, it's like I said, it's almost like dictatorship 101. It's keep people stupid 101. Cut off their access to other information, censorship.
Right.
Cut it off. You can't get none of that, because if you do, then you start learning different stuff. You start learning how much bullshit this is.
Right. And then you start thinking differently. They don't like that.
Yeah. No, you can't have that. Even when that one girl left. When the one girl left, and they said they was nervous, they was scared because they thought she was gonna start talking. And they said the boy who liked her out and told her to do this for me. Yep.
Got her to come back, and then they kicked him out.
He did it too.
He did. And I was rooting for them, but when he did what he did, I was like, you know what, he a dirtball.
Yep. So they said, I got a special mission for you. He went back, got that girl, and he still got kicked out.
Yeah. And he knew he was lying.
He knew
he was lying.
Because they knew both of them had got a sniff of the outside world.
Right.
He knew they couldn't. He couldn't keep them together. He knew dude was gonna go.
And they forced him to marry their cousins. Like,
that's again sick.
Then they was forcing these girls to have sex, and these girls didn't know what it was.
Right.
Nope. They were being raped.
That's what it was. That was rape. They didn't even know what was happening to them.
They ain't know where babies come from.
Yeah, the one girl said that.
Did you see the trial? Did you get to the part?
I didn't.
I think the first trial when the chick who left and they put her on the stand and she was talking about the things that he did and they said that she was lying.
You can't lie about this stuff. The girl said, "I thought babies came from kissing."
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I did see that part.
She said she physically didn't know how babies were made.
Mm-hmm.
But, I tell you.
I watched that and then I watched an even sicker documentary on dang, what the heck is his name? Gacy.
Uh-huh.
On John Gacy.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
That one was also extreme too.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about John Gacy?
Micah. Because what's the name of that?
He was a serial killer. He was gay and he was fighting his demons, but he would basically pick up young men.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. His name was John Wayne Gacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I cannot remember the name of the documentary.
And weren't the majority of them like? I don't know, but a few of them were like Black gay men and like.
I only saw white men on his roster.
Oh, this is back in the 40s and 50s.
He like men with straight hair.
Oh. Said he killed at least 33 young men and boys.
Mm.
Oh, because he was a clown. Yeah.
But you know what? They had a guy telling his story. Basically, back then, they wouldn't call it sexual assault. They would call it sodomy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he like picked up a gay hitchhiker. Then he raped him. But he didn't kill him.
33 of them. Yeah. Goodness Christ.
He was very, like, if you listen to the documentary and you listen to him talk, he was just very cocky.
His mugshot looked cocky. He looked like he mad that he there.
He was I think they said he was a Democratic chairman or something like that.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think I actually remember that.
They marked him.
Jeez. His documentary is also good. I gotta start watching these true crime things.
Yeah, I can't be watching stuff like that because then like nightmares will come up.
Well, I don't get nightmares. I just be so into it. I watched one today about dang, what were their name? It was like Shannon Wyatt. It was like her husband had killed her and her kids.
Yeah, see, I can't be watching stuff.
He buried her in the field and threw the kids in the oil tank.
Yo.
I'm like, why you ain't just bury the kids? Well, I mean, he shouldn't have killed the kids, but I mean, if you did kill your kids, why didn't you bury them outside and put her in the oil tank? Since y'all were beefing.
It's just like what they do is just crazy to me. Like,
right.
Serial killers are just like
he killed his wife because he needed a way out of that relationship, that marriage. I mean, she was annoying, but not annoying enough to kill her, but she was annoying. Like I could see why
no one's that annoying though.
Oh yeah, well not annoying, but I could see why he wanted out of the marriage because she was a bit much. But she wasn't.
You couldn't just leave, bro.
Right. Because she told, because honestly,
I'm just saying that.
I thought she wasn't trying to leave, but when she found out that he had another woman, she was done with him. Like she told him to get off of her. And he strangled her.
Yeah.
Like, why are you just saying she was done? Let her be great.
Sick.
Then he took a polygraph test. He knew that he killed them, but he still took the polygraph test and then still denied killing them. But his neighbor knew off bat he killed them. He was like, nah, he was being too fidgety in this living room. He killed them.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the babies do? We were beefing with the wife, but what the babies do?
So they be sick, yo. They sick.
Yeah.
This is evil.
And the wife was pregnant.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how much you guys.
A
I mean, I
lot of
always think the husband do it all the time. Well, the husband did it. Instant. Husband did it. Boom.
there's a lot of sick people in this world, man.
The thing when you start watching this stuff, like, yeah, well, that's one thing. Two, also you realize like you got to be careful out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have no idea the people walking around what they're capable of out here.
Oh.
Right.
People really be mentally ill. People really be going through stuff. People really be plotting on people out here.
Yeah.
Like, so sometimes it's good to like, sometimes I do more the podcast, but you hear a lot of commonalities in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it makes you think you got to be more alert out here too. You know,
Right.
These killers out here, these people out here trying to harm people. Sometimes it just be random because they got mental issues. Like, so it just makes you think like, yo, you got to move safe out here. Like,
right.
It is.
I learned from one of the true crime podcasts. You can always tell, like, if there was a group of people, like, let's say it was the three of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say Kenneth had beef with somebody. And so they came, we were all at Kenneth's house. They came to kill Kenneth, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll shoot me, they'll shoot you, and they'll shoot Kenneth like 15 times. Right. They say that you can always tell who was the target by
how many shots.
Right, who got killed the worst.
Right.
So like instantly they knew, oh boom, Kenneth was the target.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
I could definitely see that. And like I said, it's sick. And I can't even get into like I don't know how to like I don't know that if this were to happen to someone close to me, how I could process it, because I would just be so dumbfounded.
You know, I always say, because I've lost a brother. Now this was street violence, but still they were murdered. I lost a brother and a cousin.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a loved one who passes away by, heart attack or something like that, it's sad. But when you have a loved one that's murdered, it just hits different. It just hits different.
Right.
And I even had a friend who was killed by her husband. So it's like, it's just a different feeling that you feel when someone is murdered, because you're like, damn, you just took them away from us. Like, it's just, the sadness is just a different type of sadness that you feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like unfathomable.
Right.
Then because now there's someone else you can literally blame them for, like, who are you? Why? What gives you this power? What gives you this right?
Right.
Like it is. It's
and don't let them get away, because now you got to find out who did it, and now the family wants answers, but nobody can give them the answers because you might get police officers that are just like, well, it's just another gang thing, and that's it, or oh, they just ran away or whatever.
That's another thing. Listening to the true crime stuff, you realize the police, man, they really stopped showing a lot of stuff.
They really and you have some detectives that really do go hard. Like, I was listening to one yesterday with this Haitian woman was killed. I swear her husband killed her, though. I swear he killed her. But the detective is trying so hard to solve this case 25 years later. And that's the one thing he said he wants to do before he retires. But he said if he retires, he's still going to try to figure out who killed this family. Because again, there was a 6-week-old baby who was killed and a 2-year-old baby who was killed. They're like, damn, what the babies do? They didn't even do nothing.
Nothing. There's nothing on the baby. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's sick. It's just sick. There's nothing a baby did.
Right.
Like, but yeah, you see a lot of that. Like it used to be demographic stuff. Black neighborhoods, they time and time again, you would see cops not doing not giving it they all.
Right.
People go missing and they wait too long to start the search. Things like that, where it's like people screaming for them to help, and they don't be helping like that.
Also, I think it's the families too, because I'm gonna tell you, my family, we didn't continue to try to find out who murdered my brother or my cousin, but because it's like the police don't really cooperate, but the families too, they sometimes they just stop, they give up. They're like, oh, we're never gonna find out. But it's the ones who keep fighting though.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep fighting.
Right. They be fighting for years sometimes. Yeah. Like they don't stop.
It could be your own classmates that serial killer show. I'm telling you.
Well, you never know.
Right.
You never know. Like I said, I know people. I had a friend, he wasn't a serial killer, but he was a serial rapist.
Oh.
Yeah. And we didn't know. We didn't know until we saw the articles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, I know him.
Yeah. I got a phone call like, did you know what? He did what? What?
That would have been my question. Did he touch you?
That was the question that was going around. He was big bro. We used to play ball with him. He looked up to him.
Right.
He was cool. Kind of found out he was raping boys the whole time. Madness. Really madness, yo.
Yeah. One of my teachers, one of the teachers that was at my middle school, apparently he was doing it too. Yeah. And I didn't find out until maybe I think it was the year I actually graduated high school. Like, and then I heard from someone, one of my old classmates, oh, yo, Mr. Whatever got arrested. And there were always rumors. There were always rumors going around, but no one ever believed him.
Yeah.
Was he raping like young men and women?
Men. And this was middle school.
Made me so mad.
Yeah, we had a high school teacher, a theater teacher, got caught with the girl. Yep. Or no one talks about the flip side too. How about I used to date this girl, her roommate was a teacher, and she was messing with one of the students.
Oh, that was a popular thing in Pittsburgh. And
he was a boy. Like it was crazy. I go over there a couple of times. I'm like, yo. The little homie was there. He was like 15.
You know,
this a grown woman. Yeah. I was like, I gotta go. I won't be around this.
You're stupid. You don't know any better. You're dumb. I definitely was into older men when I was younger.
But that's what I'm saying. For him, think about like the 15-year-old boy. He dating, and she wasn't an ugly woman. She was a very attractive woman. So 15 years, he got the fine teacher in the school. My boy was on cloud 9.
I'm telling you,
but you don't know that
about this when we talked about that. When young men lose their virginities at like 9 and 12 to older women, like we don't hold these women accountable.
Yeah, right.
Instead, these young men are taught to high five because this was a good thing. But no, you were raped.
Yeah,
you were raped.
And that's what it was. This boy was over there getting taken advantage of. In our culture, we think that's cool. Because the roles are reversed, that's a hell no.
Right.
There had been a 14, 15-year-old girl with some grown-ass man. Like, it's backwards. It's not cool just because it's a boy. Like, it's not. That's why I was like, I gotta go. I can't stay over here. Yeah. I don't want to be a part around this.
Right. So tell your roommate, implicated.
Tell your roommate, like, do something. Or I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like police.
I thought it was nasty. I was like, no.
I would have snitched.
I don't care how big he is. I don't care how swole he is. I don't care if he play on the football team. That's still a 15, 16-year-old boy. And you a grown woman who she could literally walk out her door and get any man she wanted.
But you're messing with this 15-year-old.
Because she can manipulate him.
He's sick and disgusting.
Yep.
And it makes me think about like all the people that like were talking about in high school how they were dating older people, and it just like takes me back to that point, and I'm just like, that's not right.
That was me. I dated older men in high school, but I did know, right? I dated this guy who was like 24, I was 16. We had sex with this girl that was my friend while we were dating. I dropped a dime on him so quick. I was like, let me tell you how this 24-year-old boy is having sex with a 16-year-old.
That's nasty.
It is.
You know, when you're young, we don't look at it as nasty. We look at it as popular. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I felt like guys my age was not on my level. I didn't think we had anything in common, but I was stupid. You know, if my mom knew, she would beat me.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm talking about from the adult perspective there.
Yes. Well, now as an adult, I look at it and I'm like, that's nasty.
It's a 24-year-old, bro. If you can't find somebody your age, you're a loser.
Loser.
You really are. Like I'm saying, like, yeah, 24, you know, like, because again, for a young girl, that's cool. He probably got a job. He probably got a little car. He probably know a little, he can get you in the spot. Like, probably fun and exciting. Of course, it's going to look different. What other 16-year-old boy got that? There's no competition for that. And he knew that. The 24, he knows that.
But you know, I think it goes back to power.
Yeah, power and control.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The thunder over here about to get stupid.
Oh, what?
Don't send it here because my dog will have a whole anxiety attack.
Yeah.
That's not. Okay.
That's what here. Yeah. So, no, it's just crazy out here, y'all. Like,
yeah. Check your neck.
I don't know why they really not calling it sex trafficking with that whole situation with the Mormon church. Like, they are really not trying to affiliate it with that at all. But that's what it is. Like, if you look up,
they probably didn't. They probably didn't.
Things is what it was.
It probably wasn't a top popular term at that point. Back in the day, like I said, talking about like the whole sodomy thing. I think now
polygamy, like
now you could probably get them on some type of sex trafficking and stuff too. But we're talking about, what was this? This started in like
2000.
They said I think it was 2000. Or sorry, no. I think the documentary even said like 1996.
Yeah.
When what's his name came in the power and was running things, that was in the early 2000s because I remember they said 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warren. Yeah.
And like they really had people going. I mean, Oprah was there, Robin was talking to them, and I'm just like, y'all are stupid. How y'all not see this? Y'all don't see nothing wrong with this? There's something wrong here.
Right.
This is a cult.
But it also goes to show too how well kept they kept it tight knit.
Yeah.
Again, how people know if the people know what's going on. Even the cops in them, they were like, they didn't know what was going on in there.
You see that the one chick lied and said that there was no underage women having babies, and she was the midwife to one of the girls.
Yeah. And then they were taught that these are lies, the enemy lie, and all this stuff. Like, so of course they looking at it like ops. Like,
did you get to the room yet?
The room?
Yes.
No.
Wait till you get to the room.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Not the polygamy boom boom room.
It's the room where they the innocence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, go through all of this.
Babies.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I could do another episode like this.
I'm telling you, dog. It's just like I said, the classic manipulation stuff.
Right. All the signs are there. It's just that everybody else is with the program and they're
born into the program.
Right.
Like the one guy was saying, I was born into this. Like, this is all I know. Some people walked into it and they voluntarily joined. But that's why I'm asking. So now you got generations of cousins.
Right.
You're not supposed to inbreed. Inbreeding is horrible. Like, that's the end with so many issues, like physical, mental issues. Like, do we not learn anything from like monarchies? So a lot of them are jacked up because you're not supposed to inbreed.
Right.
Warren looked like something was wrong with him.
I can't with you.
I'm looking at his face right now. That's what I'm looking at. Like, Orange just look like he got a chromosome missing or something.
It really opened my eyes to a lot of things. I mean, I already have my own opinions about certain things, but like, this is what I try to tell people. That's like, have you ever seen The Runaways?
No, I haven't seen that.
If you go watch The Runaways, the Gaborum is just like this.
Or go back and watch what happened in Waco, Texas, with David Koresh and the Branch Davidians.
Yeah.
This is Waco, Texas. They had
Harry
a compound,
Krishnas, right?
Huh?
Harry Krishnas?
No. I mean, there's got to be a documentary on it.
No, but I've heard of the Waco, Texas one.
You see the one with the dang, there was another one, and it was like it was started by it was like a Hindu or Buddhist priest or something like that, but he started a cult off of religion.
Probably so.
They were like doing what the heck does it called?
Jamestown?
I don't know, but they were like, they had salmonella and they were like spreading salmonella around the town and getting everybody in the town sick.
Believe me.
I thought maybe they were behind COVID. I ain't even gonna hold you. They said something bigger was coming.
I mean, there's so many of these. Like I said, look up David Koresh and that standoff with the FBI. I remember when that happened. I was watching it on TV. They stormed that joint. So many people died that day. Look up Jamestown. Oh, look up what's it called? Heaven's Gate cult.
You said David Koresh?
Yeah, David Koresh.
See how you spell that? Oh, K-O.
Koresh.
Seventh-day Adventist.
They had a standoff.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, say that one more time.
And he was a Seventh-day Adventist.
It's called the Davidian, yeah. But he was another one of those guys.
Had all the people. Why do you look like that?
Had all the people, all the women, and I think pretty sure they was all his wives and stuff. And I guess the FBI caught wind of some stuff that was going on in there. They went to rush the joint and had a standoff. I mean, the standoff lasted for like, let's say, 51 days.
That's over here.
And I remember on TV, they had it every day. It was a big thing. The FBI, it had a whole everyday standoff. And then finally they said, "Now we going in there." They rushed the joint. They think somebody lit a fire, but they burned the joint down pretty much. And a whole bunch of people in there died.
You see what I'm saying? It's they use religion to control people.
Yeah. How your religion called the Davidians? Because your name David. So you call them the Davidians. This whole cult. Well, look up, was it Heaven's Gate?
Davidians.
The Davidians. What the heck? Now you want me one.
That's a whack name. Also,
that's the one. They thought the comet was coming back. And I think they all killed themselves the night the comet came back.
Oh, what about the what is it? Westboro Baptist Church?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
They're another one.
Yep. They're a weird one.
They're demons.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're already down the rabbit hole.
The website though? Have you? No.
Let me see this.
No. I mean, I can't even say it. They're .com.
Did you say fear.com?
No, the name of their website. I can't say it on this podcast.
You cannot.
I cannot say it on this. Yeah.
Do not.
I won't.
Well, whose cult is it?
This is the Westboro.
Baptist Church.
Like,
I've been to their website before.
Have you seen the title of the actual website?
No, I didn't.
Google it real quick.
Just Google it.
I think their leader just died like a few years ago.
So these cats is that off the name alone. That's wild.
They're the worst.
That's wild. Yo.
They really are.
They go to everybody's funeral and make their lives hell.
Wow, they have a.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they're the worst.
Yes, they have a "Are you human" thing on their website. That's weird.
Like,
I don't even want to click it.
So if you believe, so if people believe in heaven and hell, and they believe that the things that they would do will get them into heaven, everybody knows that, first of all, you cannot worship a false idol. You worship somebody who you think is truly a prophet, but you're only supposed to worship God. As they say, I remember from private school that God is a jealous God.
Absolutely.
And also, I mean, you're basically sheep being led to the slaughter. So if you believe in heaven and 100%. Hell, you're definitely going to hell for your actions.
Because people believe they take these words and they twist them. And they interpret it and twist it however they want.
Right.
People believe it. And I think it comes down to people are searching for something so bad. People are searching so bad, and these cults take advantage of that. They know exactly. They know exactly what they're doing.
When you have no sense of direction, people will take advantage of that.
Yeah. And this is what we're seeing.
And this is what happens.
Oh, that's his name. His name was Rajneesh. I can't say his name. But he was a cult leader too. That was the one who started the cult where in Oregon, where they had a salmonella.
Wow. Yeah.
Mass food poisoning. They had spread salmonella all around the town.
I don't think there was any reason for that.
That's when they said that there was something bigger coming. I swear I thought they was behind COVID. I'm not even gonna hold you, because they really had access to a lot of stuff. They said something big was coming, and then all of a sudden this whole COVID outbreak came. Like they were preparing for something bigger. They were trying to see. I'm telling you, they were preparing for something bigger, and then COVID came. And I was like, oh Lord, they was at it again.
These cats nowadays. I feel like they would have claimed it though.
They would have. They would have been very proud. And they were a huge cult too. I just cannot remember the name of the cult.
But yeah, so I think for the sake of the pod, we keep it moving. But I think just being aware of this stuff. People, like I said, people don't really know this stuff exists out here until you expose them. So yeah, I think
and to the extent, like the what's called the like impact that they have on people is insane.
Yep. Yeah.
Weak-minded people.
Right. I mean, I can't even call it weak-minded. Like the situation with the fundamentalists.
Right. It's more of a manipulation.
They really did. They like when you're born into this is crazy.
Well, when you're born into it.
Like I said, other people there's the people that like they just looking for something so bad.
Mm-hmm. But what about the ones who were not born into it and they just followed it? Like the people who decided during the pandemic to sell their houses and be homeless. Now it's the whole movement of being homeless. Now it's
I think if we haven't learned anything else from human beings, is that people will follow a trend.
Right. Yeah.
People will follow. People will follow
blindly.
Because I mean, there's not too much difference in manipulation in this and preachers who preach to get money.
Right.
What they call the prosperity message.
Stealing from healing.
Yeah, you got to give if you want to get to heaven.
I always say pimping off through the word.
But that's what it is. Yeah, so it's like they still manipulate people. So they may not be doing crazy stuff, but you robbing them pretty much.
I still don't understand why they have to have a salary. This should be free. These are in the streets for free. If you say you're doing God's work, you don't need to get paid. It should be free.
I understand the salary. I can understand. Because at some point in the day, people got to live. You know?
Volunteer. You're volunteering your services to the Lord. Seriously, this is something they preach all of that hoopla that's in the Bible, right? Mm-hmm. Jesus spread the word of the Lord for free.
He still took offering.
Nah, he gave out some bread and some.
No, but he took offering where they went because they had to.
I wasn't taught that he took offering because all of that stuff is immaterial things, and you're not supposed to like that stuff. I was always taught
but
that
people
did this for free. Now he may have taken some housing and stuff like that.
But that's what I'm saying. So people still gave to him.
Money. They didn't take money. He took housing.
So it's still
go ahead,
they gave.
I'll give you a house. You can sleep here for a week and then you gotta go.
But then that's the thing. So then what do we do in modern times?
Get a job. And this is volunteer service. I honestly thought this was volunteer. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Not for everyone, no.
Yeah, not for everybody.
No.
Like I remember when I found out that like I used to think my pastor lived in the church.
No.
I honestly thought they had full-time jobs and this was volunteer service on the weekend. I didn't know they had a salary. I really didn't. People probably gonna say I'm stupid, but I don't care. I thought they did this for free. I honestly thought.
Yeah, I did.
Volunteer service. You are spreading the word of God. Why do you need to be paid to spread the word of God? It should be free. Why am I paying you to teach me what I can do on my own?
Because church is big business.
Right. Also, don't forget, churches don't pay taxes. Or they don't have to pay taxes, I should say.
No. So. They're a special exemption of a nonprofit organization.
Right.
See,
in churches.
Nonprofit.
We have this discussion about religion because I promise you, when I try to talk to other people about it, they are so closed-minded and be like, that's why you're going to hell. But why? Why am I going to hell?
Right.
That's the problem, because people just blindly follow.
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to just blindly follow.
Right. We're supposed to ask questions.
Yeah.
Right. And I always ask questions.
Jesus asked questions.
Yeah.
And so back when I lived in California, me and my friends, we would go to this convention, and always, like 3 years straight, there were protesters at that convention. And it actually had the URL of the Westboro Baptist Church. That's
was it Westboro? Because they always everywhere.
Yeah.
Nerves.
And I was just like, aren't we called to love and not hate?
The Black Israelites are the same way too. They are so, don't even get me started. They make me mad.
Yeah, so that's why we see what we see. And we should be questioning and looking into things a little bit further. Don't just blindly follow, y'all. Like, no.
Right.
So this, this show that we watch, this is exactly what I say about the Bible. People will take what they read in the Bible and use the words to turn it into whatever they feel like it should be to manipulate other people. And then people follow blindly.
Yeah.
Like y'all said.
Well, that's why it's important. Anything you read, that's why there's so many different denominations, because there's so many different interpretations of it, Right. Mm-hmm. And that's the sometimes confusing, sometimes scary part too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The two people can read the same sentence. You can read the same passage and get two totally different meanings from it.
Right.
Like, so who's to say? That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes I look at other stuff and I'm like, it may not be, I don't think they're wrong. They just saw it different.
Well, also it was rewritten,
That's another thing too. That's a whole nother podcast.
I've also,
what was omitted? Like,
I was about to say, because I've heard about like how there are other books that didn't make it into the Bible, and I was like, why didn't they make it into the Bible?
Because they had a whole meeting and they decided what was put in there.
And who's to say that they didn't write what they wanted to write in there?
Well, that's one thing. Like, we don't, and that's why I look at it like we will never really know the truth. We'll never really know what was included in it. We don't even know what we have right now is what, like there might have been stuff omitted from even some of these texts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how are we really supposed to know? And that's why I said we use it as a guide.
Right.
But like once we start getting into man and what they think, like, nah, son, that's where you lose me.
Right.
because people are flawed, and we see it all the time. You know.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect, and power corrupts.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You know.
Also, for those who interpret that it's okay to have many wives, and why it's okay to have many wives, and you can have sex with your cousins, but it's a problem when man lays with man and a woman lays with a woman.
Because
a whole nother
it
might be a whole
more
other
so a
podcast,
problem
but
when a man lays with a man, because usually people don't care when a woman lays with a woman. Perverts.
Because they've interpreted it for their dominance,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why women never really have a place in a lot of these hierarchies.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a man-oriented structure.
Right. It's a man's world,
and a woman is just an object, a tool.
We just used as cows basically to have babies. It's the handmaiden's tale, I'm telling you.
Or the fundamentalist church. All right. So I say next week, we finish this up and we talk about the ending. We'll spend some time on that too. But I know I'm looking at the sake of time. Probably get up out of here soon. We haven't done Bob's and Karen's in a while. Do we have any?
Yeah, we do. The terrorist group that planned on rushing the Pride Parade in that was in Idaho.
I think so. Yeah. Whole U-Haul truck full of idiots in the back.
I'm glad you called them terrorists. I'm really glad you did.
Yeah,
because they were.
Because that's what they are. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not gonna call them their group name. Like their group name is terrorists. They're domestic terrorists.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and that's what they were on their way to do.
Right.
And I really feel like the media downplayed that too.
They do it every time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect them to like call it what it is.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of them. What somebody said? They said they all look like NBA 2K created players in the face. Yeah, like generic faces.
Oh man.
I'm dead.
So like
but also like real quick, it's sick the amount of violence that's going on right now. So because like I feel like every week there's like I don't even know if it's now that I'm paying attention or the fact that like I don't know what it is, but like I feel like there's a new almost like mass shooting every week. And
it has been. Yeah.
I just like it's scary. Like we gotta do better.
It has been like that for a while. I think there's actually a list of that. It's like a running tally. I don't think we haven't had one in several years where there wasn't a mass shooting in this country.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. We got any others real quick before we wrap up?
Nah, that was the only one that I had for now.
All right, that was like 20 something of them anyway, so that'll work.
I have a bad business.
Ooh. Let's go.
Excuse me. It's called Live Through It LLC. And they are on Instagram. It's live through _IT. And what they do is they will help you find a therapist.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Therapist. Hello.
Shouts to the therapist.
Right.
I do want to give a shout out to a young lady I met at the she was the hotel manager I was staying at the other night.
Did you get her name?
Christina. Yes, I did.
Oh, look at you. You growing up.
I did. Almost forgot. But no, it was really refreshing to have a conversation. And she was from El Salvador. And this is a real good conversation. We actually sat there and talked to her at the front desk. Mm-hmm. We just talk about culture and family and life. And she told me a lot about her dad. Now he moved to this country and really made something of himself, you know. Mm-hmm. And it was just good to hear that.
Right.
Like
you don't get to hear it all the time.
No, but sometimes you got to step outside. Like our cultural perspectives too. And I try to do that sometimes, but it was just good to hear like how she really talked about like moving to this country. And one thing she said, it really struck me. She said, you got to understand, like in El Salvador, they talk about America like it's the greatest place on earth.
Right.
Like the whole goal is you have to get to America. But then when you get here, you get treated like nothing.
It's ghetto here.
Yeah.
So
America is the ghetto of the world.
But the problem is the mind job that you go through, apparently. I don't know because I was born here. Mm-hmm. But imagine going from you're moving to the greatest of highs. And then when you get here, because no one told you that it sucks, really. Mm-hmm. So when you get here, now you're at the lowest of lows.
Right.
You have to really train your brain to get into work. Like this is like with something I never had to, we hear it. Mm-hmm. But it was the conversation that was like, dang, no one really talks about that. Like, so it was really interesting. I wanted to bring that up. Like, we don't have to do a whole pod on nothing, but just think about like, it almost like kind of goes back to the whole documentary, The Fundamentalist. Mm-hmm. You've been told this whole thing your whole life. You've been taught this whole thing. The goal is to get here, get here, get here. Right. And then once your eyes are exposed to it, it's like, wow, this place really wasn't.
This place ain't sure.
Yeah. And then you still got to make it work for you.
Mm-hmm. And it's not only that, they're going to dangle like certain things in front of you that will never be attainable.
That's the thing. So you have to
cult.
So you have to relearn this stuff all over again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it really
the cycle continues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that conversation made me think. So shout out to her. She was cool peoples too.
Mm-hmm. She can come on. I'm telling you, I'm gonna buy an island. Remember, I was looking it up. She can come on. She can come on. Try to come home.
Right. Ooh, also I want to shout out Coach Love because I was on her show today. She's doing stuff for what's up?
No, I was just go. I was thinking about something in my mind.
Okay.
When is it? When does that show come out? Did it come out today?
I think we were live. So
okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's on her YouTube.
Yeah, it's on her YouTube and LinkedIn. So I think she's going live like all this week, and I think Kenny is going to be on for what, the 18th?
Well, it's the conference.
Conference. That's right.
You can go live on LinkedIn. So
no, you can use one of the other ones like StreamYards.
Yeah,
which is one of the
Streamlabs.
Which is one of the ones that I'm trying to kind of creep in to see if we can do that. If we can go to live shows.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to TikTok so we can get paid. Get a little 45 cents.
Monetization on the show. Yeah, but I guess I will shout out. Yeah, the reason why she's coming, we're doing the conference this Saturday, the 18th.
Yep.
Which will be a live virtual summit, matter of fact. And I'll share. I've been sharing, but it's the Men's Mental Health Summit, June 18th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Mm-hmm. And a couple good brothers talking about certain things we're sharing and stuff. So I will put that information out there too. Yep. Check us out. It's a virtual thing,
Yep. Definitely shout out because it was a good pod we had with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was on there today. Sugar Ray popped in.
Yeah,
had a couple other brothers on the show.
I did not know this Sugar Ray.
Our publicist.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah.
Shout out to Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
I just be feeling like I'm missing something.
So you'll find out once
when
the other book comes out.
Last week when y'all said his name, I just played along with y'all like, yeah.
Oh yeah, Sugar Ray, that guy. Yeah, my man. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And just like I said on the show this earlier today, just because his name's Sugar don't mean he's sweet.
Yeah. All right, now you sound like the guy at Starbucks because that's what he says. I'm sweet and delicious, but not on the menu.
Oh, okay. So on that note, I'm about to get out of here because I need to blow my nose, y'all.
You just blew your nose. Why are you acting like that?
I have several times. I've already got a tissue over here. I need to get up.
Dog just barked.
I'm running out of tissue, yo. So yeah, we brought to you by the Black Scroll Media Network.
Yes, sir.
Wait. Father's Day is literally this weekend.
I forgot all about that.
Come to Black Squirrel. Come to Men's Stature.
That's right.
Yeah, I forgot about.
Get your candles,
ladies. You can buy some books for your husband to read with some sexy candles.
Yeah, there's a whole lot going on that can be doing for Father's Day.
We gotta put that together.
Yeah.
That might be a little more expensive.
No, but you can find them right now. Come to the website. Come to benestature.org. Find the books.
Hello.
There you go. See, check them out.
Yep.
So just know if you need something, you better do it now because
orders might come in.
Shipping ain't free either,
Cheeks are not a present.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
The men did not say that.
I'll say it.
I'm just saying the men
cheeks,
did not say that.
Can be end of the night, but they're not a present.
It's not. No, I want something. Give me some Sperry's or something. Like something about this deal. Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Y'all know what the drill is. Follow us at blacksquirrelmedia.com. Follow us at communitycoalitionshow.com. Check us out, y'all. And until next week,
Black Squirrel Media Network.
Yep. Be safe. We out. Peace.